Beyonce is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch.
Well, it's obviously they've been controlled by Satanism. I mean, I'm not really scared to say that. We all know Luciferians, Freemasons, and all occult knowledge that was drugged up from Egypt have now surfaced itself in American society. And if you actually dig through the raps, like as I have, before it was all about partying, popping bottles. But when you listen to it again with a new ear, obviously they're not serving the same most high God that I am. And that's what makes us enemies, that I stand for a completely different doctrine, a completely...
There about her straight up being a witch. But hear me out. Maybe it does take one to know one, right? And while I personally have never seen Bey practice any witchcraft, let me break down some of the things I've heard that have made people suspect her and what Erykah has been saying based on reports. Okay? For starters, there's a female drummer named Kimberly Thompson who accused Bey of extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and casting spells on her. Kimberly actually filed a restraining order against Beyoncé, saying that BA was utilizing spells to tap her phone and control her finances, all to keep her under surveillance. And these actions were reportedly part of a harassment campaign orchestrated by Beyoncé against her. Kimberly also blamed Bey for the loss of many jobs, theft of homes, the death of her pet kitten, and her numerous broken relationships, among other things. But when she requested for a temporary restraining order against Beyoncé, their request was denied by a judge, most likely because of the rantings about witchcraft. But is it possible that Kimberly knew exactly what she was talking about? Now, other than Kimberly, remember that lawsuit that Chanaz Mangro filed against The Dream? In her lawsuit, Chanaz said that days after she started working with The Dream, Dream began to pressure her into sleeping with him, telling her it was part of the process. In fact, she even described an instance at a house with a studio where they were working, and Chanaz said that Dream locked her in a dark room and would only stop aggressively hooking up with Herence. She said that she loved him. Now, there were vile allegations in the lawsuit, kind of like the ones we saw with Diddy, with Chanaz claiming that Dream placed her in an Atlanta hotel, had his security staff monitor her movements, and berated her unless she regularly checked in with him. But then she also said that Beyoncé and Dream allegedly credited Beyoncé's success to the spiritual sanctuary they had together, and their bond allowed him to know Beyoncé in a way that others could not, and consequently, he could write the best songs for her. Janice said that The Dream explained that the sanctuary, which was giving serious ritual energy with Beyoncé, was even stronger than his spousal connection because it was about art, and required her to disclose all of her secrets and thoughts, and become trust partners with him. He allegedly told her that this was the relationship he shared with Beyoncé, claiming they were so close that he knew about Beyoncé's pregnancy before her husband Jay-Z. Well, that's interesting. Anywho, there was also Larry Johnson, who was very close to Jay-Z. So if there's someone who saw firsthand what Jay and Beyoncé were doing, it was Larry. And honey, he has not been scared to spill exactly what was going on behind closed doors. Well, it's obviously they've been controlled by Satanism. I mean, I'm not really scared to say that. We all know Luciferians, Freemasons, and all the cult knowledge that was drugged up from Egypt have now surfaced itself in American society. And if you actually dig through the raps, like as I have before, it was all about partying, popping bottles. But when you listen to it again with a new ear, obviously they're not serving the same Most High God that I am. And that's what makes use enemies that I stand for a completely different doctrine, a completely different nation, and a completely different truth than he does. I don't have any materialism attached to my spirit or soul anymore. I don't have a fornication attached to my spirit anymore. I mean, I just got engaged July. So my life is completely different from how I was with women in the early 2000s. And I think that is the difference in itself of being evolved with Rockaware has made me see something completely different, and knowing who his allegiance is with is not the Most High God. And we all know, Satan. According to him, after he came back after about 5 or 6 years, he started digging about Jay and things started to make sense. He apparently found out who Jay really is, why he says the things he says, and with whom he has an allegiance. Based on what he said before, it was all about partying and popping bottles. But if you listen again to things with a new ear, you will see truth. And the truth is that Jay and Beyoncé are very deep into Satanism. So yeah, we have a bunch of different people claiming that Beyoncé does use some sort of dark magic and that she's used the dark magic to stay ahead and sabotage other people's careers, possibly even unalive some based on what the streets have said over the years. Also, it doesn't help that Beyoncé and her creative team use so much iconography in her performances and videos. That just gives a basis for the Illuminati rumors. In addition, remember when her daughter Blue Ivy was born, there were tons of conspiracy theories saying that she basically proved that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were purely satanic, like how a rearrangement of Blue Ivy spells Ely, and the claim was that that was Latin for Lucifer's daughter. There were also claims that Blue is an acronym for Born Living Under Evil, while Ivy stands for Illuminati's very youngest. Yeah, I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, but the streets of the internet claim to know a lot about it. And it's just wild. Well, now what I've heard is that Miss Badu is allegedly out there confirming those allegations that have been made against Beyoncé. But then again, like I said, she should probably be the last person to talk about voodoo given what we've heard about her as well. Music. I mean, that was a time when Jaguar Wright was talking about Erykah keeping the placentas of the babies as some sort of ritual. The thing is, Erykah got her doula certification in 2011 and revealed she was studying to be a midwife back in 2015. Since then, she has been helping women in their deliveries. And when she was asked how she even started becoming a doula, Erykah said, "It just kind of happens. I don't plan how many people I work with. I don't charge anything, and I just enjoy being the welcoming committee. I became a doula by default." But if you ask Jaguar, she will tell you that the certification was just a way to cover up the things Erykah does in the name of being a doula. Jag then revealed that Summer Walker's management team allowed the most ridiculous things to happen to her, including sending Summer to Erykah Badu. And while with Erykah, she allegedly cast spells on Summer, chanted about graves, and kept the placentas of her babies. Jag also said that Erykah didn't just keep the placentas of Summer's babies. She's kept the placentas of all the babies she has delivered, including the placenta of Teyana Taylor's baby. Summer Walker has been being handled for years. He was a part of her management team. They allowed all kind, and they sent her down there to Bad's house to be cast spells on graves and letting that woman give birth to her babies and keep all of that placenta. Oh, she kept the placenta. That's what she does. Oh. Ain't nobody ever thought, ain't nobody ever asked what he does with all the umbilical cords and all of that placenta from birthing Teyana Taylor's babies. Oh, Illuminati babies, Summer Walker's babies, Illuminati babies. It's a damn shame. Two may in fact leather get around them. They ain't been right ever since. In fact, according to Jaguar, one of the indicators that Erykah is a witch is that she's rarely outside. She said that you can search for an eternity for a photo of Erykah outside, enjoying her neighborhood, and you will never find one. 'Cause witches just prefer being inside, alone, and in the dark. I want to talk about with that witch bee I was over there at White Rock just last night with my man. I took him over there, and I said, "Isn't this lovely? Very nice over there. Never outside. Find me one picture in Dallas of Erykah, her lovely neighborhood." In addition, Jag also suggested that Erykah may have been involved in Daniel Jones's death, and there was some sort of blood sacrifice involved. She said that, as much as she wasn't that close to Daniel, he was pretty close to her brother. So, she knew exactly what she was talking about. And according to her, there was no way Daniel would just OD out of nowhere. Like I have a recent post that I just put up, and then somebody, waste talking about, oh, so now you saying that Daniel Jones, and we gonna see what the family say about that? And there were my comments like trying to make it seem like I'm inflaming what happened to Daniel Jones' life in some way, like I'm trying to make it out to be more than what it is. And the only person that would make that kind of statement would be somebody that's affiliated with Erykah Badu. I mean, Daniel Jones did die on the road with her last year. See, other than Jaguar, 'cause y'all will say that she likes to stir things up. Someone like Glasses Malone also once gave a story of how he was crazily attracted to Erykah when he first saw her. And just before he could approach her, Birdman told him to calm down and not approach her 'cause she is straight up a witch. And I see Erykah Badu, man. And when I tell you Erykah Badu was thick, respect to Doc DLC and Andre, but man, Erykah Badu, the thickest mother world. This before the video came out with and all that. Erykah Badu was this thick if she thick. I'm like damn thick. So I'm like, I'm gonna bust her. I'm F to get her. Feel me? Like, I'm me. Like Doc had her, Andre had her. I for sure had her. Like, you know what I mean? This. So I'm get up. I'm telling the Birdman. I'm like, man, look how thick here about, like, yeah, she thick. She cold. I'm like, yeah, I'm F to go get her. So I start to get up my shoulder. He like, hey man, don't do that. I'm like, why not? You think I could have her? Crazy guy. I could get her. I got up. He was like, nah, no. He grabbed me again. He's like, man, she like a witch or something, man. Feel me? She on. And I remember looking like, man, you tripping. I'm laughing. Oh, you crazy. I looked in his face and it did not look like it was no joke. It looked like he was C.